The Beat 139 featuring Doc, Don Vito, and Keith Cash. Harlem's #1 show.
What's good?
What's good? How y'all doing out
Now
there?
we're in the building. It's Wednesday.
The Beat 139, y'all know what it is. I'm Doc Shake the Block.
Don Vito, voice for the peoples. Doc, how you doing today, man? What's happening with you, man?
I'm good. Taking it easy. Wait for this dope interview right here. We're gonna do it big. You know how we do.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be a big one, man. Well known. I'm gonna let him introduce himself in a minute, but without further ado, we got my man from BK. They go by the name of Success, aka Pizzo. Y'all know him, man. Brooklyn's finest. What's up, bro? One of the realest dudes coming out of Brooklyn. So where you from in Brooklyn, man? Tell me where you from.
I'm from Marcy Projects, man.
Marcy, man.
Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn.
Marcy got a lot going on, man.
Absolutely.
But you from Bed-Stuy when Bed-Stuy was really Bed-Stuy.
Yeah.
They don't water it down. They got some,
It got gentrified.
gentrified. We're going to keep it clean.
But it's good for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Very good.
It's good for the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Change and safety is always good.
Yeah.
But I just came up at a time where it wasn't that. You know what I'm saying? That crack era, it was a lot going on. So
Right.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful thing.
So how was life growing up, young guy, Marcy Projects back in them days?
Well, Marcy back in those days, like probably in most hoods, like you had to find your way.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't no gangs and none of that stuff back then. Like you could just come and get with cliques and in the 80s, me growing up, dudes used to rob dudes for their sneakers, you know what I mean, for their ski hats and all that kind of stuff. So, I moved to Marcy when I was like in 3rd grade. So it ain't like I was born there. So, like me being young and honestly back then being a young little light-skinned dude, you know what I mean? At that time, I ain't gonna lie, I ended up having a complex with that, you know what I mean? Growing up, to be honest, now when I look back, because it was just like, oh, they think I'm soft. You know
they had a little, that's what the little stigma was going.
Light-skinned dudes, you know what I'm saying? So I think that, that's an issue, that's a topic that probably people need to talk about, you know what I'm saying? Some of the complexes that
I never thought about that, but that's a real topic.
That'll drive you to do certain things. I don't want people like, yo, and I used to like getting fly, stuff like that. So it's like, that's what kind of really was a segue to me, like getting into the streets. It started out with us like going to like rob little stores, like Coca-Cola stores, Benetton,
Benetton,
all that. So we was young dudes.
A lot of boosting going on back then.
We was running up the stores. My mom lost her job, so once she got on welfare, and it's 10 of us. I got 7, it's 7 boys, 3 girls, but it was like 4 of the boys that was living there. So it was a lot of my mom. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have my pops and nothing around, so. I started finding my own way. I was the youngest dude in Marcy back then with gold teeth and all that. So, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, it was just it was a different time, you know what I mean? Then when crack hit, it just really changed everything, you know what I'm saying?
So your brothers ran the streets with you?
Yeah, they didn't run with me. Like I had a brother that's 3 years older than me, you know what I'm saying? But I was out the house before him, you know what I'm saying? But he never was a soft dude or nothing like that. But I started running with the street dudes. I was the youngest one, like, you know what I mean? Out the crew of that generation of young dudes, me and Tata was the youngest ones out the crew. So,
Who Tata be with Jayz?
Yeah. Tata be with Jayz. That was my best friend. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Growing up, one of my best friends, we was all the crew, you know what I'm saying? We used to be the brothers, the Marcy posse.
I heard he got a big family too.
He was 15 of them, you know what I'm saying? So they used to have 2 apartments next to each other. So they was very deep. His brother Ceelo, rest in peace, he got killed on Rikers Island. He was one of my big bros that I looked up to. Him and my man Love. They was some real young serious dudes. And we was like the first generation because before us, you might find guys that get shot here and there. But it was more about your knuckle game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Dudes doing a 52.
Right.
Knocking niggas out. Those was the dudes that can run stuff, rob stuff. So we became like the first generation of young dudes that we were still children when I look back at it. We 13, 14, 15-year-old that started playing with guns and like really running around, like putting in work.
Not working.
Yeah, so you know that's when it started going. Because first it's like, you know, he looking at us like, yo, these dudes little kids. So you're not gonna be intimidated. You see a little kid coming, but then when it started, like, oh, these little kids is putting in work, so you got to worry about them little niggas in Marcy playing with guns. So it became that. You know what I'm saying? So you know, and with that crack came. I don't know if y'all heard of a guy that Jay-Z mentioned in his music named Danny Dan. Danny Diamonds. You know what I'm saying? He like, you know, he really like made us like a formal crew. Like he was so intelligent that he seen what we was doing, and he went and bought us all black hoodies, black Timberland chuckers. You feel me? Like when I look back, I see what he was doing, like to unify us. You know what I mean? And then we just became some young dudes that ultimately led to me getting in trouble, stuff like that.
I heard you mention, you said Love was the first dude that y'all lost.
No, Ceelo. No, he wasn't the first dude that we lost. But Ceelo, you know, which is Tata brother, he got killed on Rikers Island. You know, and at that time I was locked up and I heard about it. You know, and that really affected our whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like one of the leaders. You know,
and they stabbed him up.
Yeah, over the phone.
Phone shit.
Yep.
Phone was serious back then.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. We you mentioned names from back then. You know, friend of mine, Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
I mean, we talking.
Yeah. No,
he was one of the dudes, right?
Nah, see, that's a lot of people think Calvin Klein is from Marcy, but he's not from Marcy. He's from Red Hook.
Right.
You know what I mean? But the reason why people thought he was from Marcy is because he was running with Danny Dan. You know, that was, and then also like me and Tata was like his little brothers.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like that's what the real connection was. When Klein used to come to Marcy, he either be at my house or be at Tata house. You know what I mean? And we was kids though. Like we was like 13, 14 running with these dudes. You know what I mean? Like, and I was really like a student. I was just watching these guys. You know what I'm saying? Really genuine.
So DeHaven, he's from Marcy, right?
Yeah, DeHaven's my man. I see he was on the show. You know
Yeah.
That's my dude. He know me very well. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z know me very well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know,
what's the other kid names on that show? We just spoke about him.
Bags from Brownsville.
Remember Bags spoke about
him? That's my dude. You know, he spoke about me. He from Brownsville though, but you know, interesting story. You know, Jay-Z wrote a rap for me back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably one of the first people he wrote a rap for. Like, I was like, you know, he used to do talent shows and stuff like that back in the days. He was always rapping, you know, even before he was hustling. This before he was really hustling. And I remember just seeing him, and I was just. Yeah, you know, people used to do talent shows at the high schools. So I seen him. I'm like, yo, Jay-Z, I'm like, yo, write this song for me, man. Me and Ice. I was like, yo, we're going to do this talent show. But again, you know, I'm young. I'm just talking. I'm probably like 14, 13. And then one day I'm walking through the projects and I hear somebody calling me like, yo, Pizzo. I look up to his window. He lived on the 5th floor. He like, yo, come upstairs. So I come up to his crib and we go in his room and we sit on the bed and he started telling me how to say the rap, how to say the dude part, how to say my part. You know what I'm saying? That's interesting. That probably was like 86. I still know the rap to this day. You know what I'm saying? So I know
he used to rap different back then.
Yeah. And I know it'll probably bug him out if he hear me say the rap, because those was his words. So I know he didn't forget them, even though it's, you know, if he hear them again. But he did rhyme different back then. He used to rhyme like Jay always rhyme with his finger like this. You know what I mean? But you know, and it's funny because I remember I ran into him, and I think this was like 91 when I came home for my first bid, and I seen him. I was going out of town. That's when he was going to Maryland, Cambridge, Maryland, and I was like, yo, man. I said, yo, man, Big Daddy Kane, like your style with doing this. Big Daddy Kane had a video with Patti LaBelle at the time, a song called Feels Like Another One. Right? So I seen Jay at the store. I'm like, yo, this dude. And Jay was like, yo, I ain't worried about that. I'm writing some Father MC right now. But when I come out, dudes ain't going to be able to F with me. And I was like, yeah, make sure you shout me out. You know, we laughed and whatever and kept it pushing. So, you know, to see him do what he did is really dope. You know what I mean?
That's what's up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So you said your first bid.
Yeah.
Where you went on your first bid?
Well, my first bid, you know, I went to jail, you know, when I was 1988, I was 15. You know what I'm saying? For a body, you know what I'm saying? For homicide. I was like the first one in our crew to go away that young for that kind of situation. So and me and Tata, all of us together, how things happened back then. Very unfortunate situation. Blessings to the family, all that. It's a long time ago. But I was young, hot-headed. You know what I'm saying? Like we was already putting in work. I didn't. And a lot of people, there's been people that ask me like, how does that feel? You was at such a young age, and went to jail. You took somebody's life in a shooting, and I had to forgive myself first. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like and the way I looked at it, when I think back how I was living back then and how we was living back then, I said I didn't value my own life. Yeah. So how can I value someone else?
Yeah, the way you was moving. Yeah. The way y'all was moving. Yeah.
Couldn't have valued my own life. You know what I'm saying? So how can I really value someone else's? You know what I mean? So and at that time, like I said, I was 15. What a lot of people don't know is Star Jones. Star Jones. Yeah. She was a Brooklyn DA back then. And she had like She had like 89 cases. I was one of the cases that she prosecuted back at that time. So it was an interesting story to fast forward. That I was with Ceelo Green, who's a business partner of mine that I work with, and he was doing a performance for Ken Chenault from American Express, that owns American Express, whatever, the CEO, and she was there. And so I'm watching her and her husband and watch him perform. And I remember saying to my guy, like, yo, I remember she prosecuted me. And I'm like, yo, now we're in the same room on a different level. You know what I'm saying? And where my life is at. You know what I mean? So I ultimately, ended up doing, 3 years for that because I was in Spofford. I was a kid. Right? Yeah.
So that gave you a second chance at life, because normally sometimes off that, they knock your boots off.
Oh, absolutely. And that was the blessing. I think, when I look back in hindsight, I think that was, God trying to, get me to pump my brakes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, I didn't really look at it that way. Again, in hindsight, like I always tell people a story, even when I was in junior high school, and I used to go to a school called 318. I'd be walking to the school, and the Pfizer building is right across the street from Marcy, still to this day, Pfizer. Yeah. It took up the whole block. Right. So I remember when I was young and I used to be like, yo, what building is that? They be like, oh, that's the Pfizer building. They like design drugs and stuff there. So, so I'm young. I don't really know. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So now fast forward, we hustling, we selling crack and all that kind of stuff. The police is running in there trying to lock us up. And I was confused. I was like, why is they coming in here trying to lock us up for selling drugs? And that's what they doing in that big building over there. They, you know what I'm saying? I see people clocking out and clocking in. I'm like, why they running in that building? Right. But they running up at our crib trying to lock us up. Yeah. Right. And it was confusing to me. But the irony is that, if you're doing something on a certain level or being legit or something that's being monopolized, then it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. But for us, so let's lock them up. We can make money. We can make money off them being incarcerated. You know?
So, how many bids you did all together? How much time?
I did 14 years altogether. So I came home, after doing the 3 years, and I didn't learn anything off that. To be honest, you know what I mean? I was a juvenile.
You're still young.
I'm still young. I came home at 18. And then at that time, unfortunately, if you go to prison for a body, it's glorified. It was glorified. Yo, P's caught a body. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Yeah. So it's like, that's when it's like, even though I was still 15, I became like a man. I became like a young G, like, and for me to go to jail and things that I do, things that I've been around. I didn't tell on nobody. I didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was my first time being locked up.
It's like a badge of honor.
Yeah, it was a badge. So when I got out, I had, the first day I got out, I'm 18. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a guy named Stanley Burrell from Marcy.
Yeah, I know Stan. I was locked up with Stan and his brother. We was in the feds together.
B-Wop, right.
B-Wop.
Yeah, I just seen Stan the other day. I just introduced him to my son.
And I think Moet.
Yeah, Moet raised me. Like, these are the guys that raised me. So Stan was actually my crimey on my case. Yeah. But again, He didn't get locked up. You know what I'm saying? Not like that. He was with me. But so when I came home from the 3 years, you know, he was that dude.
Yeah.
You know, that's when Spike Lee, I don't know if y'all remember 91, Spike Lee Pops, I got
Yeah.
caught in a raid, gold bag and all that kind of stuff. But so Stan and a couple of my other dudes, they came to see me the first day I got out. So he like, yo, what you want to do? I'm like, yeah, I need some work. You feel me? Like, because that was like, you know, when I think about it, that was like looking out for somebody.
Right.
You give them some drugs.
Right,
you know,
right,
you know what I mean?
Dude will give you drugs for you get some money.
Exactly. But now he gave me both, to be quite honest. Only they didn't give me a gun. I was asking for a gun. I was like, they gave me a bulletproof vest. They gave me drugs. They gave me money. And I was like, yo, you know, I just came home. They was like, dude, you just came home. you don't need no gun. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, all right. But my whole thing is, you know, when I look back in hindsight, because I used to do the same thing. Dudes come home, I'd be like, yo, you give them some, you know what I mean? Some work or whatever. But I'm like, in hindsight, it's really setting a person back up to go back to jail. Because if you give them money, if you give them drugs, then they got what they got to do. They got to move it, right?
Correct.
And so that's what kind of like, not blaming nobody, but when I look back, that's what kind of, I asked for it too. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, once I got to work, now I'm in the hood like, yo, y'all got to move my work. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom. So I got right back into it. You know what I'm saying? So like being home, like maybe a month and a half, I got caught with a bulletproof vest. You know, they end up putting a case on me, lying because they knew who I was or whatever the case may be. And I started going upstate hustling. You know what I'm saying? In Utica, New York. I was going up there selling weight and all that. I'm 18. I'm getting like maybe like 50,000 a week. You know what I'm saying? Just coming home. So, you know, I got my little crew. You know, I was already real disciplined, but now I was already like a general. I'm a leader. So, so I'm doing my thing up there, and it didn't last. I was only home like maybe like 5 months. You know what I'm saying? I got right back to it, and I ended up getting locked back up, had a violation. You know, all that stuff came to play. And I was facing 25 to life for that because I got caught with like maybe like a half a brick, a machine gun, money, you know, scales, stuff like that. And then they see I was on parole still. Manslaughter. Right. So they was offering me and my co-defendants, which my brother Woody, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? And my co-defendant P Nice, rest in peace. Both of them not here with us no more. But you know, it was the three of us, you know, and we all ended up taking, you know, they was trying to, you know, give me 15 to life. Or you go to trial, you blow, you get 25 to life. I'm like, 15, like 25, like I'm only 18. What y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? But I knew how I was living. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I ended up being blessed and getting we all three of us took a 5 to 15. So mine's ended up turning into a 5 to 20 and a half. You know what I mean? And you know, and I went upstate to go do that, and I ended up doing 11 years out of that. You know what I'm saying? I got hit at the ball. I got hit at the parole board 3 times. You know, and that's why I met you. You know what I mean? On that bed. You know what I mean? Yeah, we end up running into each other, and you know, I learned a lot from you too in there, man. You know, good dude. Yeah, for real, for sure. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, that was a hell of a time. But you know, I went up. We got the same story, and came out, and somebody told on me, and I went back in too.
Right.
You know, but
that's real.
But I tell people all the time, you know, that because you locked up doesn't make you a bad person.
Absolutely.
You just did something wrong, you got to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, you know, if I got to do what I got to do, I will. But I'm not generally a bad person, you know, and neither is he, you know.
Right.
And he's from Brooklyn, I'm from Harlem. He's like each other energy. We ain't know each other from nowhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, yo, man, you sure you ain't from Brooklyn? I'm saying, why you say that? Because I was kind of tough. I was real big,
right? Exactly.
Moving everything.
Exactly.
You know, I had that little rugged style. You know, Brooklyn. You know, they think Harlem dudes just get money. Right. The Brooklyn dudes are known for taking money.
Right.
So they're like, yo, I like that niggas uptown too. Right. We rugged too. How you think we keep the bag?
Absolutely.
And keep niggas from taking the bag. We gotta add something.
Absolutely.
So me and him got real tight, and we've been tight ever since.
And vice versa, because what was interesting, it'd be guys like you and guys like my brother Bat, rest in peace.
Bat,
from Harlem.
No, Bat from Harlem.
Yeah, Gary Saunders.
Yeah.
You know, blessings to him, bless his soul. You know, I learned a lot from him. You know what I'm saying? And he took a liking to me. as a youngin, you know, being in there. And what's interesting is like people that know Bat know he real low key. He don't really mess with dudes like that. You know what I mean? And it was always funny to me because a lot of dudes from Harlem used to always say to me, like, "Yo, Peas, you remind me of a Harlem dude." I used to like, and I used to be like, "Why?" I used to be like, "Why?" I'm like, "Cause you smooth." I'm like, "Oh, so y'all niggas think y'all just smooth niggas? Huh? It ain't no smooth niggas in Brooklyn, huh?" You know what I'm saying? We just wild.
Yeah, because he's a smooth dude, like how he is.
Yeah.
But if it get crazy, you see another side. But you'll never know because how he is quite easy. He's always easy.
Right. Yo, that was funny.
Till you violate, then he come out like, ah, man, why you start this dude up, man?
Right.
I should show him 8x10s and them 8x10s.
Yeah, you'd be fine. You was inspiring me with the Gators and all that, with your minks and all that. I was like, all right, I see you. You know what I mean? And at that time, it's interesting because when me and you was together, you know, I was approaching my 5 years on my bed, you know, and so I was thinking I was going home. So at that time already, to be quite honest, you know, I tell people I don't wish jail on nobody, but I tell people I needed it. You know what I'm saying? I needed to go to prison. You know what I'm saying? That should save my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even while I was in there, you know, when I thought I was going to get work release, I was telling my son, I was like, it's insane that I have a list still to this day that in 1995, I wasn't even out yet. And I was writing down a list going, when I get out, I'm going to get this many guns. I'm going to get this many infrareds. I'm gonna have my son. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that just shows the level of insanity that I wasn't ready, even though I wanted to get out. You know what I'm saying? So I think like me thinking I'm going to get out as early as I thought, you know, helped me when I started getting hit at the parole board, I started taking things a little more serious.
You're getting older.
Yeah, I'm still young, but I'm like,
you're getting
I'm
older.
Already, you feel what I'm saying?
Because most people mind frame change once they get like around they late, like they get like early 30s, like late 20s. It starts shifting. That early 20s when you you're at your wildest. Then it start like shimmering down.
And at that time, honestly, I was only 21. You know what I mean? Because remember, I went to jail young.
Yeah.
So I was already 21, but it was like, you know, I'm already in the jail, like, and you know, wherever I come in the building, my name is ringing bells in the building. Yeah. They know I'm in the building. I'm getting red carpet railed out. You know, I'm already like, he'll tell you, I always kept a bunch of dudes that'll move for me anytime I say move. So it was like, you know, if a person that's been going to clubs and all that for a while, after a while, you're like, I'm not doing that no more.
Yeah.
That happened for me early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, at 21, like I'm still in there, but I'm going now. Jayz starting to blow up.
Right.
Somebody I know. Right. I'm still talking to him, catching him on the phone sometimes, talking to Tata on the phone. So to be quite honest, like those guys inspired me to be like, oh, I could do something different. You know what I mean? This is what they doing. I can't rap.
Yeah.
But let me figure out something different. That's when I started like studying about corporations, about real estate, about business, about the music business, you know, because I wanted to be prepared when I do get out, whenever that be, and also be able to be an asset versus a liability. You know what I'm saying?
So when you came home, what year you came home?
I came home December 19th, 2002.
Oh, so you come 2002 now, Jayz it's like that.
Jayz major.
And what was your relationship with Tata?
Well, Tata, again, that was one of my best friends. I mean, growing up, you know, my relationship with Tata still was really good. You know what I mean? I was proud of them. I'm proud of them to this day. I'm proud of Jayz. I can literally say that those guys inspired me to ultimately believe that I can do certain things because these are guys that I know. These are guys, you know, before I start my day, I used to go to Tata's house. He lived on the first floor and knock on a window. He'd be like, yo, come outside. He'd be like, all right, I'm gonna walk my dog. He had a dog named Wishbone. You know what I'm saying? He'd walk his dog and then we start our day. So these are guys that I knew. So when I seen that, you know, I just never was a person that thought about getting a job. That just never was me. So I was just like, okay, I gotta prepare myself for when I get home. And when I came home, I seen both of them.
So how was it when you came home?
Well, when I came home, first of all, like I do want to say, like I started making steps for what I did when I got home in there, you know, because I had certain relationships, like, you know, my guy Tahim Brian, rest in peace, from Queensbridge. My man Little's brother at the time, he was working at Loud Records. So when I was going to the parole board, he sent letters, saying I'm gonna be this
Getting
when
a
I get
job,
home,
yeah.
right? Stuff like that.
Right.
And then, Kirk Burroughs from Harlem, that was the president of Bad Boy at the time. He was managing Mary J. Blige. I met him, and so I was like, oh, so I'm thinking like, okay, hopefully when I go to this parole board, they're gonna let me go. So now I'm talking to Kirk, like, yo, you think you could have Mary J. Blige come up to the jail and perform? You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to the prisons trying to get her to perform. So I already started to like make moves while I was my body still was there. You know what I mean? So I was already retraining myself. And then that's where the name Success came from, because I had a picture of my god brother Danny Dan, and he died on my first bid like 3 months after I got locked up in a car accident in Virginia, flipped over. And in this picture, the picture that looked like the magazines and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had a picture of him it had Success written over his head, like a cover. And so, and plus I feel like words are spells. Yeah. Words are power. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so I knew I was gonna come home and do something different. So my homage to him, I wasn't gonna call myself Danny, but my homage to him was to call myself Success. And I knew that was a name that people won't forget when they hear that name. Yeah. And so now when they address me, because I'm introducing myself as that, they addressing me as Success, I look at it like they speaking it on me.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's called manifestation.
Yeah.
You spoke it into existence. So I remember when you came home, we met up. Met up in Harlem. I seen you a couple times, and you went right to it. You went right, because it was kind of he was always talking about we trying to figure out what we gonna do, but he went right to it. I was like, yo, what you gonna do? And I was happy to see him. You always fly, you know what I'm saying? So he doing his regular. Yo, man, I'm gonna fuck this music thing, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this and that. And then you say, yo, then the next time I saw you, yo, I'm breaking out. You be breaking out. I'm moving, man. Where you moving to, man? I'm going to Miami. I'm breaking out. You coming back now? I'm going down to live.
Right.
And you took off, man.
Yeah, again, like, honestly, I always been, since I was young, like, even guys like Klein, Moet, all these guys that's older guys, like, they would tell you, like, when I was young, I always thought outside the box, like, you know what I'm saying? But I was a good listener and a good soldier, you know what I mean? But I always observe, I ask questions, you feel me?
Yeah.
So, so just with me, I look at I don't wait for somebody else to do something sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'll just do it. So the reason I was able to hit the ground running, though, honestly, who I want to give props to is my man Littles. You know what I'm saying? I used to talk to Sauce Money when I was locked up and everything. He was with Rockefeller.
Yeah.
So these are guys that I know. But me and Littles from Queensbridge, we was locked up together. You know what I'm saying? So he's from Queensbridge. I'm from Marcy. At the time, Jayz and Nas got their little thing going on.
Yeah.
So, we in jail, like, yo, we gonna be the real niggas to come squash that, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I actually started him rapping while we was in there. So when he started rapping, I'll be in the gym and all that. So he goes home. When he goes home, he started messing with Mobb Deep. He on the album, he rapping. Right. He come back to visit me, like, yo, I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, I can't wait to come home. Yeah. So the first day I came home, or when I got home, he made me his manager, basically. So that put me right into it. You know what I'm saying? Even without seeing like Jay-Z, Tata, and them, because I'm like, maybe I could rock with them too. These, I know these guys. Yeah. But when I seen Jay-Z, I think he was shooting a video the first time I seen him when I came home. I hugged him, and I told him I was proud of him. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask him for anything because him and I didn't really have that kind of relationship.
Right. He was cool with Tata.
Right. Me and Jay-Z was cool, respect for each other all the time. But Tata was my guy. You know what I'm saying? So I do recall it's a day that I came home, making a couple of moves. I got a Lexus, you know what I'm saying? So I remember me, Tata's in the passenger seat of my car, you know what I'm saying? And my man Shushan, rest in peace, he's in the back. And I said to Tata, I was like, yo, bro, I just came home. I was like, I go back to jail, they gonna keep me in there. I was like, I'll get a little job or something like that. And he was like, yo, things ain't the way people think, you know what I mean? But like, kind of gave me that kind of story. Right. And I was hurt a little bit, to be quite honest. You know what I'm saying? It's my friend. You know what I mean? Right. But I knew he didn't owe me anything. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, all right, you know what I'm saying? And to me, I was like, okay, I'm home, I'm free, I'm not handicapped, I'm still young. I was 3 months shy of turning 30 when I got out. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And then, that's what I started doing. Then, from Littles, I kind of started managing Sauce Money. You know what I'm saying? I'm managing him, working with him, helping him with mixtapes. We going in the studio, you know what I'm saying? I'm making my bones, because how I looked at it when I got out too, I wasn't the guy that got out. It was using my street cred and using that I just came home, like how some guys do. And I'm not knocking that. But I didn't come home like that. You know what I'm saying? I could have did that. I could have came home and been like using my weight. You know what I'm saying? Like pulling some of my dudes around. I was moving for Dolo. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and I said the reason I don't want to do that is because I have so much more to offer than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I didn't want people to like be like, oh, the street guy. I didn't want it to be the street guy coming home.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That was change your image.
Yeah, so that's why I didn't even use my street name when I got out. So, so I wasn't telling people like stuff about my past. Right. But what was still kind of working out is when I was meeting certain people in the industry, they always got street guys around them. So, I'm running into dudes and dudes is going, oh, yo, that's my man, B's. He official. So they looking at me like, this guy don't even look like he did 14 years. He don't even carry himself like that. Some people wear it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't wear it. So I think it was a mystique that started to happen because they like, yo, this guy don't talk about none of that. He don't do none of that. You know what I mean? So I think that was just my direction I wanted to go. And I think that kind of worked for me because it allowed people to feel okay and safe.
Comfortable. Right.
Yeah, so that was the direction that I went, and it started, from Sauce Money. Then I ultimately was a short situation. I was also managing DJ Absolute from Hot 97.
Oh, DJ, yeah.
I started working with him, and then just started to open doors. My name started making a little noise. I did the single release party for Mario Winans when he had the song I Don't Wanna Know at the Copa. You know what I mean? So I'm doing little parties. I'm just trying to find my way. You know what I mean? Yeah, and things started to open up.
So how did you? Let's talk about the situation with Rick Ross. How did you meet Rick Ross? What happened?
Well, I didn't meet Rick Ross when the situation happened with Rick Ross, as far as me being like, instrumental to him getting his deal at Def Jam. You know what I mean? What happened was, me living in Miami at the time, and in 2006, like Lil Wayne and Jeezy and them had the music popping, right? So it was a club called Privé that everybody used to go to, Opium/Privé, and DJ Khaled used to DJ there. You know what I mean? And he put on a song, Every Day I'm Hustling, Every Day. I'm in there like, yo, this is fire. I don't even know who he is. I never seen this guy in my life or nothing. I'm just like, yo, this song is fire. Because I'm like, yo, it feels like me. It feels like me. I'm out here grinding, hustling. Right. So it was like I felt like it was like a theme song. You know what I mean? So when I heard it, I went to DJ Khaled and I was like, yo, bro, New York need to hear this. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I've managed DJ Absolute. Let me send this to him. So he like, yo, I'm gonna introduce you to E-Class. I didn't know who he was. He had Poor Boy Entertainment in Miami. They had a nice movement going at the time. Long story short, I get the record. I sends it to DJ Absolute. I'm like, yo, play this, yo. I'm telling you, man, this joint fire. Play it, boom, boom. He like, all right, sends it to him. He start playing it like on Saturdays, the street times you can play. Right. And then I called DJ K Slay, rest in peace, which is a friend of mine. You know what I'm saying? And I told him the same thing, sent it to him. And the reason, and just to I brought up K Slay, let me just veer off to that real quick and give him his flowers. You know what I'm saying? He's a solid dude. Solid dude, because honestly, like, K Slay was one of the dudes that kept my name alive. Like, dudes used to go up to his show, and I was in Otisville at the time, so we could hear Hot 97. Right. So dudes used to go up to his show like Tragedy, Gaddafi, Sauce Money, mentioning me in freestyles and all that at the time. So he used to shout me out because he used to do the lock in.
Lock in.
So sometimes, so
he used to shout the jail.
So sometimes we be in there, we be chilling. I'll be listening to him, and then next thing you know, I might hear him go, Pizzo lock in. Like, so in jail at that time,
that means something.
That was big. That was big. The next day, everybody going to breakfast, they looking at me like, yo, you heard him shouting you out?
You know him?
Yeah. But at the time, honestly, like, that didn't really move me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, I want to get out. I want to get to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care about none of this in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't mean nothing to me. But I just want to give K-Slay's props because actually that's how people found out I was even home. Because when I got out, Sauce Money came to see me and he was going to K-Slay. And he was on the radio that night. He's like, yo, welcome home to Peace. You know what I'm saying, bro? So a lot of people are like, oh, this nigga home. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they found out. But going back to the story with Rick Ross, I called K-Slay, and then maybe like 3 weeks later, DJ Absolute calls me, and he said, yo, the program director asked for a copy of the record to put it in full rotation. I'm like, word? I still don't know who Rick Ross is. Still haven't seen him, nothing. I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And then I'll say maybe 2 weeks after that, I was in the studio out there because, you know, me and Benzino was really cool. You know what I'm saying? That's my dude. I was in the studio and there was some guys from Opalaka that knew I was from Marcy Projects. And then so they seen me and they was like, yo, man, yo, Success, man. You know that boy Ross sitting down with that boy Hov, right? A Def Jam. I'm like, word? They like, yeah. And then ultimately, that's how he got his deal at Def Jam. So the irony to me after I heard about that was you have a guy from Marcy Projects, me, go down to Miami, hear this hustling song, sends it to New York, another guy from Marcy, you know what I mean? That's a hustler, hear the song and signs him. Not even knowing that I'm the one that sent the record to New York. You know
and you never met one, but you know the other.
That is correct. So then, like, you know, I ultimately, you know, people will be like, oh, yo, I nigga owe you a check. Well, I'm like, you don't owe me nothing. I didn't even know.
Like the record.
I said that was fate. That was his fate. For me to be where I was at the time, do what I do. I said, I'll get my blessings from somewhere else. I'm like, because now if I knew that was going to happen with the record, then that's different. I would have handled my business. Yo, nigga, listen, you know what I mean? So I ultimately met Rick Ross, you know, but, you know, I see him today. We say what up. I don't really talk about it, nothing like that. You know what I mean? But, you know, it just showed that I had an ear, you know, in this business as well.
Do he know that you played the major part?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, I don't know if he know. He probably know. But one time we was at a video shoot and I kind of was telling him, and he kind of like was kind of brushing me off. But I didn't really feed into it too much. And I'm gonna just be straight up. I never said this before because I didn't want the person I used to be to come out. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these guys, like when you're humble and you're just being respectful, you know, just in life, period. You know what I mean? People take you for granted or think you're a sucker. Or they don't know. You know what I mean? So and that's the kind of energy I got from him at that time. So I just kind of left it alone because I'm like, if I really was like, yo, and then he tried to like say some slick stuff to me, it'd be a situation, a real situation.
You've been there, done that.
And out, you know what I'm saying? So I just kind of, you know, humbly left it alone. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, you know, I don't want to go there. You know, because I'm really with that. You know what I'm saying? And I know you just talking about other people in your music, respectfully. You know what I mean? So that's why it never really was that. You know what I mean? But the interesting thing is that when I found out who he is and you know he's dope. He's dope as an artist. Like, you know, it's just like Jayz. You know, they talk our talk. You feel me?
They do.
So Ross talk our talk. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
whether he really was on certain things or not, you know, he related to certain dudes.
Exactly.
So you know, I always saluted him as an artist. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, he got that chemistry, man.
And at that time, honestly, when Ross got his deal, it opened up the doors, the floodgates for Miami.
Correct.
Like all their careers took off. Think about it. DJ Khaled, all of them. They all their careers took off. You know, Fat Joe was down there. You know,
he blew up behind that. Even though he was out already, but he wasn't as big.
He faded off for a little while.
You get what I'm saying?
With Khaled.
Yeah, but you know, but Fat Joe was down there when I came down there, you know, and he was kind of, you know, rocking with Cali. You know, they was all wearing the TS chains. You know, Cool and Dre, which is my dude. Shout out to Cool and Dre. You know, shout out to Cali. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in Miami. I've been knowing these guys for a while. You know, I'm just, and they know who I am, but I'm not. I never was like, you know, my presence has always been felt. You know, we've done a little business here and there, but I'm just not a guy like, you know, that just. That's why this is like my first real interview. Like, you know what I mean? they kind of people be kind of comparing me to like Clarence Avon. You know what I mean? If y'all don't know who he is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The guy, the OG that passed away. That was like a music executive, film producer.
I heard him, but I can't
Yeah,
picture
they
him.
called him the Black Godfather.
Yeah,
They did a story on him. And the reason why sometimes people call me that is because behind the scenes, I stopped a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
I get a lot of phone calls.
That
I saved a lot of people in the industry.
right.
A lot of some of the favorite artists, they call me to consult them.
Mhm.
So, but I'm just a guy that people might see if they go on my Instagram or they see me with a lot of different people. I kind of like the mystique, but they'd be like, "Yo, that's such and such the name of it." They'd be like, "Yo, who this light skinned dude that they be with?" Yo, like, so I kind of like that mystique, but I think that I just want to start, speaking on some of the things that I've done, and maybe to inspire some younger people that went through things I went through. Started out juvenile, prison, going to prison, that probably feel because they felons, they can't do anything. You know
Correct.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I just feel it's time for me to speak about some
everybody can some message that he's giving right now for the viewers. To sum it all up, it ain't how you start, it's how you finish. That's number one. And number two, that we all can change, man. We all can change. You don't have to stay in that lane. If you want to change, you have to want to change.
Absolutely.
You got to want to not do no more time. You got to want to do right.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's easy to do wrong. And I know him. And he's done some remarkable stuff with his life. There's a lot of things I don't know, but I know because I know his style.
Right.
But I know his style from being in.
Right.
You understand? So he ain't doing. He the same dude in as out. Yeah. It's just a different atmosphere. Right.
No, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how me and him gravitated, man. Because I don't mess with no suckers and all that. Yeah. And I don't people be acting like they tough. They ain't really tough to you press them.
And what's interesting is because of my past, when the story came out about Rick Ross being a correction officer, the guys that knew that I sent that song to New York, they came to me. They was like, "Yo, Success, like, yo, you knew he was a CO before. Would you send that record to New York?" And it was interesting to me.
Got something to say,
right? And it was interesting to me when they asked me that because I said, "Yeah, I would have did that. That's the music." I said, "Yo, see, I don't take this serious. A lot of these dudes I know ain't like that.
A lot of people."
So I really like the song. Yeah, I didn't take it serious. So yes, if I knew he was a CO, I still would have did that. Yeah.
But now the young dudes now, they kind of more living like that. The young dudes that's really talking that now, living that.
Right.
But our era,
because they feel like they have
the
to.
Curse ones and that era there, like, most of them guys wasn't like street guys like these young dudes.
That is true.
They wasn't these guys now is really, really gang banging, shooting and stuff. So I'm gonna ask you a couple questions. One with Foxy Brown and one Source Money. Why did Source Money didn't blow up? Because he was super nice.
Well, Source Money is super nice. And shout out to Source Money. But in my opinion, I feel like when him and Jayz had whatever they had before I came home, I think it really affected Sauce. You know what I'm saying? This is from my relationship that I had with him and things we talked about. I think that it affected him because, he looked at Jayz as his brother. I don't know what happened between them. And, and then, with Sauce Money writing the song Missing You for Puff, that situation. And it was interesting because when I first met Puff in Miami, I just kind of came home. So, it was some people mutually around and he tried to dap me up. And I was like, "Yo, man, don't dap me up." I was like, "Yo, you better give my man Sauce Money that bread." You know what I'm saying?
Right. Sauce told you what happened.
Of course. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was rocking with Sauce. So next thing you know, Sean Prez ended up calling, they kind of straightened out their business. That was their business. But, when I started rocking with Sauce, like, I think, he was putting in work. And then actually, even in the midst of that, what a lot of people don't know, me and Sauce had a meeting or something. I think it was at Columbia or something at the time. But Jayz actually had John McNeely, which is, I think, his business partner, Jay-Z's business partner, manager.
Yeah, I always heard about John McNeely.
Yeah. He had him come to the meeting with us. You know what I'm saying? But the deal didn't end up happening or whatever the case may be. And then me and Sauce, you know, where he was at and where I was at, I think like I felt like he was kind of in his own way at that time. You know what I mean? And I came home hungry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling him like, yo,
you
bro,
hitting the ground running.
yeah, I'm like, bro, I need you out here with me. Because I'm not a rapper. So
Yeah.
I need to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be a manager, executive. So I need you in the field with me. Like so people can make the affiliation and all that. And he wasn't really doing that. So you know, at that time, so I just kind of kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
y'all just like this, it just happened. So what Puff said when you was like, man, give him that bread? Did he respond to you?
Nah, he ain't respond to me. You know what I'm saying? Not at all. You know, Sean Prez ended up having him, you know, call Sauce up there. I don't know how that happened or whatever the case may be, but it was no. But again, I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not none of that.
Nah, I'm not trouble. That's your man.
Yeah, Sauce my man. That's what I would have did for you. You know what I'm saying? I did for him. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I still kind of was rough around the edges. You know what I'm saying? I'm just coming home, you know, because even at one point, you know, people was like, yo, I'm hearing you on some Suge Knight stuff out there, boom, boom. And I'm like, that ain't true. And I'm like, even if people was hearing that, I need to chill out. And it wasn't about me being on some tough stuff, but when I came into the business and I was doing real business with people, you know, and there was a couple of people like something Source Money did with Benzino on the Source magazine, they were supposed to pay us, and you know, stuff like that going on. And I didn't really understand like why dudes be spending you and not paying you and all that. So I'm running up in their offices. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, listen, my name is such and such. I want y'all to get familiar with my name and my face. Because I could be in the streets doing other stuff. I'm choosing to do this. Don't confuse me. I thought we was doing business. I have an attorney to do business. So what are we doing? We doing business or we doing street stuff? You know what I'm saying? Because you know, as we all know, a lot of guys in the industry, they want to act like they street. And then when you bring street stuff,
they tuck their tail.
Or they go, yo, you can't be doing this. Or they say you can't be doing this street stuff and all that. And I'm just like confused. So I had to learn how to just carry it in a different way. You know what I mean? And it started to help me.
He did well with it.
We need y'all to get the likes up, and also if y'all want to a call-in number 646-628-4264. 646.
I want to talk to my man Success. Call in.
Rudy Lowe said you're a stand-up guy.
Rudy Lowe, that's
Rudy Lowe.
That's my dude.
Rudy Lowe, we had him on the show before.
Yeah, Rudy, my dude. You know, we go back to when we was, you know, kids in Spofford. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and even at that time, like, you know, it's.
You got a caller. Let's take this caller. What's up, caller?
Caller, what up, caller?
What's up,
caller? Turn your background down.
Salute. Turn your background down, caller.
Salute.
What up, bro?
Yeah, turn your background down.
You got Success in the building.
Turn down. Salute, Don Vito. Salute, Pizzo. Salute.
What's good?
It's Rudy.
What's good?
Rudy,
How you?
What up, Rudy?
Ain't shit. Get a Conrad his flowers.
All right. I was just saying that, man. You know, we go back, man. Spofford days, man. You know.
Yeah, way back like 88. Way back like 8 tracks. Fact.
Exactly. And you know, Rudy, you could attest, man. We was young kids, but you know, I always was moving a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Nah. I just was telling my girl, you and the Conrad Sam, like I got a great memory. You know what I mean? So I sat back and I think about the D and the B side, and no offense, man, no cap. Y'all was like the Willies, even though we was all juveniles. Y'all was like really like, other than D Hard, the Dolphins. You know what I mean? Right. All y'all was like real. Oh yeah, one more person, DeVal Coleman. Y'all was really like kingpin status. No offense, like mature adults. Even though we was 14, 15, y'all move like adults.
No, for sure, Rudy. Word, you already know, man. I rock with you, man. You know, ain't nothing but love on this end. You know what I mean? For sure.
Yeah. No. You already know. No, it's mutual, man. Boomerang.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like much people, man. But you one of the people I always brag about.
No, I appreciate that, bro, man. And I'm proud of you too. And I'm glad we still here. You know, I always tell people, I'm like, if it's people that know me from back then, they'll probably be like, oh yeah, light skin Pizzo with the gold teeth. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, back then, you know, you know, niggas wasn't wearing a lot of grills. I had tops and bottoms. Remember that, Rudy?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know,
hell yeah.
Yeah, I had tops and bottoms at that time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? To the point where people really start doing it, I ain't even want my joints no more.
See,
So that's how people used to describe me. You know what
A
I'm
lot
saying?
of Brooklyn dudes start wearing in like the late 80s.
Yeah, I already have.
Yeah, I got
that
you in my book. You and Sam is in my book because of similarities, meaning that, remember, all us three was all going out of town before we was all in Spofford. I used to be with Sam in Philly. When I used to be in Philly, Sam used to be in Philly getting money. You feel what I'm saying? So everybody was we was already moving like on adult time already.
Exactly, bro. Nah, it's real talk.
You feel what I'm saying? Like for real. So I remember Sam had a Jetta, a Volkswagen Jetta. Them shits was big. I had a Max. Them shits was big back then.
I be in contact with him to this day, bro.
Yeah, hell yeah. I love Sam. That's a comrade.
Nah, man, salute to you, man. I love you, man. You already know what it is, man.
You already.
Rudy Lowe in the building.
Thanks for calling in, brother.
For calling, bro.
You already, I always tune into the beat, man. Y'all the court of the streets, man. You already know y'all heat.
Yeah, we get you back up there, Ru.
Yeah, we got to get you back. It's been a minute, man. We got to get you back. Real talk.
Yeah. You know. I'm still working, so
we know how you do. We know how you give it up. All right, Lou.
All right, bro.
All right, salute.
Hey, question. So I want to just touch on it briefly, right? Puffy now, P. Diddy, then they / Love. I don't know where all this is coming from with this love stuff. But what's your take on the situation right now? Let's give it up. We done did Fed State. Right. What's your take on this situation, man?
Well, first he mentioned Foxy Brown.
Yeah, let's go to Foxy. Okay, let's go to
Foxy.
Foxy.
And the reason why I brought it back to Foxy because it led up to a situation that was kind of interesting with Diddy, right? One of my first like real interactions with him in an intimate setting, but at the studio, right? So, at the time, Foxy, when she started to lose her hearing, I was moving around with her, you know what I'm saying? So me and her moving around, she can't drive. She had the Bentley Coupe at the time. So me and her moving around, making moves or whatever the case may be. But a lot of people didn't know she was really losing her hearing. So, and we wasn't really telling too many people at the time, you know what I'm saying? So I'm taking her to, fashion events, doing little deals. We getting little bags together, whatever the case may be. So Puff, Diddy, whatever the case may be, at whatever his name was at the time, he was doing Biggie's last album. I don't know if it was like Biggie duets or something like that. He was doing Biggie's last album. So he reached out to Foxy. He wanted her on the album. So we go to the studio, and we go there. So she's kind of telling him like she can't really hear. So we sitting there, we chilling, whatever the case may be. He kicks up in the room like, bitch, you can hear, you ain't fooling me, right? Laughing, runs back out. So we sitting there, and this is in Foxy's Wikipedia where they talk about a story where she was in a booth and somebody was banging on her shoulder. That was me, you know what I mean? So I knew she couldn't hear that much. So when we went into the booth, I told the engineer, I said, yo, turn the music up real loud. You know what I mean? I'm gonna go in the booth with her. So I goes in the booth with her and I have her like put her, the headphones like that so I can hear it too.
Yeah.
So while the beat is playing, I'm beating on her shoulder like this so she can try to be like on the beat. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm beating on her shoulder to try to keep on a rhythm. And so after we came out the booth, the engineer lined up everything, whatever the case may be. So that was a real interesting time. I didn't know that, that would be talked about, at another point.
So this was before this Source Money incident with Puff or after?
It was after.
You think Puff remembered you?
He probably didn't.
He probably didn't.
No, he probably didn't because he had seen me a couple of times. I had even I think after like before that, I think I had an old school. I'd be driving like a white 68 Camaro. And I remember I was parked in front of the film center building and he came walking by. He was like, yo, this your car, Playboy? I'm like, yeah. He's like, yo, that's fire. I'm like, yeah, I ain't no doubt. You know what I'm saying? But again, certain guys and guys even like him and guys like us, like we talked about recently, we gonna pay attention. We're gonna scan faces.
Right.
We're gonna scan faces and stuff like that. So, that was the kind of situation. But as far as what he's going through now, it's just really interesting. I have a lot of mixed emotions about it. You know what I mean? Because, I do know certain things, you know what I mean? Like I said, Kirk Burroughs is a friend of mine. Him and Kirk Burroughs kind of had issues and Kirk was the president of Bad Boy. And what I do want to say is, that, you know, Kirk was going through stuff with him, right? And you know, they wasn't seeing each other or whatever. I don't know what their relationship was. You know, business. Kirk was the president of Bad Boy, but I had a lot of respect for Kirk. So I remember Busta Rhymes was doing a show in Jersey. It was a lot of artists was going to be there, and I knew Diddy and them was going to be there. So I told Kirk, I said, yo, let's go. I said, we going to see him tonight. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, we going to see him. We going to see what it is tonight.
Right.
So Kirk like, yo, I got to go somewhere. You know what I mean? I'm like, Kirk, don't start that. Like, don't try to flake out on me.
Right,
You know what I mean? I'm like, we going to see him tonight. You know what I'm saying? We going to get this over with. So he goes, oh, I'll meet you there. I'm like, all right, Kirk. So I leave. Sure enough, though, he calls me like, yo, I'm on my way. So I'm like, okay. So I don't remember what stadium or whatever it was at. So when Kirk comes, I let him in through the side door. So I let him in. So we walking through the building. Like soon as we like in the tunnel and we turn, we see Diddy and a couple of people right in front of us. I said, yo, there go that nigga right there. Come on. But like once we seen him, he kind of like, Kirk kind of like paused. I guess it was the shock and the reality of him really being right there. Because they didn't see each other in a while. Right. They didn't see each other in a long time. So Diddy goes in his dressing room. I said, yo, come on. Mary J. Blige's dressing room was back here. Because I was already there. So I know where everybody is at. So I'm like, come on, Kirk. So as we walking through the hallway, though, Little Kim, Busta, you know, people that know Kirk from being an executive, they seeing him bowing down. Kirk Rose giving him his flowers. So we goes to Mary's dressing room. Mary, I'm gonna tell you why I'm telling it this way. So we goes to Mary J. Blige's dressing room. Kirk walking there, she's in there with her sister, you know, whatever. Yeah. So, oh, Kirk, hey, how you doing? Boom, 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 whatever. Talks. He like, yo, I'm gonna let y'all do your thing. Good luck, you know, kill it tonight, whatever. Yeah. So we go walking. So now we walking in the hallway. So we standing there. We in front of Puff's dressing room. D-Rock is standing in front. He got the headset on. Yeah. And what's the guy name that's not with him anymore?
Money Out?
No, the Spanish dude, James Cruz.
Okay.
Right? So James Cruz is there too. His daughter is on like the little Segway when they was out, you know, riding around. So I said, yo, there go James Cruz right there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, James, come here. So he came. I'm like, yo, this Kirk Burroughs. But, you know, he came to Bad Boy after Kirk left. Right, obviously, he knew who he was. So he's like, oh, he was like, yo, he knows you here? So we like, nah. So he like, I'll be right back. So when he walks in the dressing room, I says to Kirk, I said, well, he's either about to get screamed at, fired, or something from going to mention your name. Right. Interesting enough. So we standing there waiting to see what happened. James Cruz come back out the dressing room, says, yo, come on. Me and Kirk walks in the dressing room. It's only Diddy and French Montana in the dressing room. Right. So when we walk in, so Kirk like, yo, you know what's going on? So Diddy like, yo, it ain't nothing, man. We leave that alone. He going like this. It ain't nothing. So Kirk talking.
This is in Newark?
I don't remember.
I went to
it was Busta.
a joint with Busta Rhymes.
It was Mary a lot J. of people.
Blige,
yeah,
all those was in Newark.
It could have been that. Yeah, it was, okay.
I remember going to.
Okay, so you remember that, right?
Newark, yeah, it was in Newark. And Lil Kim, it was Newark.
Okay, so was that
because Mary brought her Lil Kim came out. I was there.
Okay, so I'm like, so when we walk in, it's Puff and French Montana. So we there's me, Kirk, Puff, and French Montana. Dang, hold on. Yo, so it's Puff and French Montana. So you know they talking or whatever the case may be. So you know while we're talking, Mary J. Blige and her sister comes through the back of the dressing room because they was connected. So when they came in and seen Puff talking to Kirk, they probably felt a little relieved. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So
we leave. So Kirk used to, you know, he was thanking me over and over, like, yo, thank you. I feel like a lot was lifted off me or whatever the case may be. Because I walked up to Puff and I grabbed his hand. I looked in his face. I said, yo, he speak good of you, man. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yeah, nah, it ain't nothing. You know, whatever the case may be. And we left. But, you know, I think if I was a celebrity, you know, and I'm saying this as a joke, that they would have had me on the list of being at Puff parties. Because who didn't want to be at a Puff party?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just interesting how they changed the narrative of people being at a puff party, it's like you was doing something,
Right.
you know, sexual. You doing something like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Puff was the hottest dude with the parties. Man.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
parties,
So let's
man.
be clear,
Yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
let's be clear.
Yeah.
So yes, I've been to a lot of his parties. I've been to, you know, parties at his house, but
Yeah.
it wasn't nothing going on. Still, you want to get in there. I live in
Yeah.
Miami in Star Island. I got a picture of me and him.
I
One
seen
New
the
Year's.
picture. You
Yeah, me and Puff standing there with our suits
yeah,
on.
with our suits on.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Standing there with each other. You know, and the parties was beautiful parties.
Mhm.
So I don't know what was happening, just the way a person don't know what goes on in my personal life. Or,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was always pleasant, always a good time.
Mhm.
So, you know, I really feel more for the kids.
Right.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Because that's just their father.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
To everybody else,
Yeah.
he's Diddy, Love.
Yeah.
That's their father. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
So, you know, but like us all, we all did time, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't spare anyone.
They don't.
We know that, right?
100%.
So, you know, they don't spare anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't.
Puff, bluff,
Right.
tough. Nigga, if you
Rough.
get, don't matter how much money we get, we was getting
Yeah.
money, right?
Right.
Not like that, but
Nah.
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Don't
so
matter.
that's what I think a lot of young black men and young men need to take from this. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about the celebrity. It's not about how much money he got, how much he did for the culture, because he's done a lot for the culture. It's to let people know you're no exception.
Not at all.
If you do something that's not right or you commit a crime, they have a bed in a cell with your name on it.
100%. And you just told me you was up in Otisville, right?
Mhm.
So Otisville is the feds, correct?
It's the state and the feds.
Okay, so here's my deal on. So I tell people this all the time for y'all listeners, right? The state gonna get you right away. The feds gonna let you rock for a little while
That's correct.
until they build it up. So when they come, see the Fed got a 99% conviction rate. Read up on them. They'll let you rock for a little while. They did it to the best of the best. We talking about John Gotti's and all kind of big cartel dudes and Shower Posse. I mean, a lot of dudes that's in the Fed. They don't come until they really got you, whereas you can't win. They'll wait. You know, so for them to have them like that, it's a done deal for them. I'll tell you that right now.
Yep.
It's a done deal. You know, they could,
Yep.
after they finish going through the allegations and the this and the witnesses and he telling this one telling on them. Once all that's said and done, y'all ain't gonna see Puff no more.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, you know.
You know, because you know, us being guys that did time, you know, I don't wish that on anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the system is in place.
Yes, in
for
place.
that, right?
Yeah, they got guidelines.
It's laws and anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of the problem, even in the streets these days with these younger dudes. They don't have no rules. You know what I'm saying?
They got no rules.
They don't have no rules. They don't have no
We
rules.
grew up with rules.
Yeah.
And still broke them.
Exactly.
But we knew better.
Right. But the difference is even when we was probably doing things, if we see a older lady or
Yes,
somebody
or
mom,
kid,
we
yes,
put the
respectful.
if you smoke, you put the weed
Put
away.
it down.
You still might be like, yo,
Right.
Miss such such, how you doing? Yo,
Yes.
can I help you with your bag?
Yes, yes.
You know what I'm saying? We did stuff like that.
Hold the
even
door
though
and all that stuff.
even though they know we running around and shooting
Still
and
did
each other.
that.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we did that. These younger generation, they just don't have no respect. You know, we wouldn't line our man up and set him up.
Yeah.
That's cool now.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
That shit now, they like, yo, the
cool to be a
slime,
snake.
the back
Yeah.
door. They call it the back door.
Right.
That's cool to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But another thing,
9 minutes away.
what I was gonna say that the moral to the story is that, you know, don't do the crime, you can't do the time.
Absolutely.
They made a song out of that, right?
Is that
Beretta.
Oh, but,
Beretta.
yeah,
You
but
know what I'm saying?
yo, and it's
That's
funny,
it, man.
and it's interesting that you said that because that's what I tell these young dudes all the time. But they got a key card now. They got a key card that I'm not gonna say we didn't have growing up when we was in the streets, but we didn't use.
No.
And that key card is snitching.
Wow.
Is ratting.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So that's why they're more comfortable, I feel,
Right.
that these younger, they're more comfortable doing crimes.
Right.
Because in their mind, they feel like they got a key.
That's their trump
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
I'm a snitch.
Yeah.
I'm a tell because
Yeah.
niggas still gonna rock with me anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I get out,
Wow.
niggas ain't
Dude
gonna
still look at Lil Woody.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lil
I'm still
Woody.
get chicks. still get money, everything.
He's
Yeah,
popping.
yeah.
Nobody
Think
knew
about it.
And
him.
everybody gonna do nothing.
No.
And now little Wally is popping.
Right. So think about it. When we was growing up, I don't know if you guys experienced that, but I know when I was growing up, even your mother, your
Yeah.
parents would say,
Yeah.
your ass better not say nothing.
be a
You better not see
telltale,
nothing. You know why? Because it was that serious.
Yeah.
Because it
Same
went,
when it happened.
because not just happened to you. Some niggas might run up in your house and kill your family.
Yeah. It was serious.
It was
then.
more serious.
Yeah, now it's like
So that's why I think a lot of these guys just
dudes be knowing dudes snitch still give him
Yo,
that's
that's
nothing. It's
yeah,
not-
he
it's
ain't
not
snitch on
evil.
me.
He ain't snitch on me.
you know.
Right.
So it's just
Yeah.
it's
That
a
shit
different
is whack,
time.
man. That shit's whack.
You know,
I
but
would never respect that.
But you know, I
Never.
respect evolution.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Just the way it was 8-track tapes and cassette tapes and then
Yeah, it goes
CDs.
around. Yeah.
You know,
right.
that's
Yeah,
one
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Like, so when I hear about these guys, these young dudes out here and they shooting and they
Mhm.
killing and they doing all kinds of stuff, me as a grown man and having a young son and daughter, you know, it hurts my heart.
Right.
Not only it hurts my heart for what they're doing, I feel for them
Yeah.
because they don't really know what they're about to go through. Like we did sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Until you standing in front of these judges and they trying to put your lights out, and that's when it get real to you. That's when, you know, that's when I'm not Pizzo no more. I'm not Success anymore. I'm just, you know, my name. And you know what I'm saying? Like exactly. You feel me? So you know, and that's sad because you know that's why now you know I just have left the meeting you know before I came here you know to work with a nonprofit that has a film school and you know to start doing things for the youth. You know what I'm saying? And like how you told me, you know, what you got going on and stuff, Rikers Island and stuff like that.
Right. And
so I
the
feel like if
mentorship
I could get
program.
one or two people to just, if I could inspire them, that's why I decided to start, you know talking, you know, and doing interviews and stuff like that. Because I might be one person might be able to hear, you know?
Hell yeah. Because they can learn from your story, like you learn from me, Doc Keith Cash, you know, Jay Ted. You know, that's why we got involved with mentoring.
Right.
You know, we mentor a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mainly in our neighborhood, because we got to save our neighborhood first.
Right.
Because it's where we from.
Absolutely.
And then work our way around, you know?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're doing. B139, we heavy with it, you know?
I commend you guys for that.
Yeah,
too.
thank you, man. Appreciate it.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
No, for sure. And I, you know, I already let you know if you need me in any way. You know, whether it's any relationship I have, you know, whether it's me coming to speak, you know what I'm saying? Whatever.
With that story right there, that has to be heard at some point. You know, because it's a learning curve for the youth.
No, absolutely.
But before you go, right, I want to ask you this question: where do you see the state of the music industry?
Oh man, that's an interesting question because
seeing that you come up where you come from,
right?
You got this drill rap,
right?
All that.
Right.
Where do you see the state of it?
And I've been in the music business now for 20 years. You know what I mean? Like you know, but I consider myself a businessman. You know, not just music. I've brokered a lot of deals that was outside of music.
Right.
You know, and things of that nature. But I can say this: I always been a fair guy. I like being fair. Right. You know, I don't even when I was in the streets, anything. I like being fair. So if we say, hey, this is what you're gonna get. This is what you're gonna get, and this is what I'm gonna get. That's all I want. I don't want $1 more or $1 less. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, with my experience, I remember, you know, Ceelo Green from Goody Mob, you know, Don's Barkley, you know, that's my guy. We do business together, you know, done deals together, and we had a deal at Sony for like 3 years, and I was like the general manager, president of Ceelo's company, because you know he was still a working artist, and you know what I mean. So he's not working with artists that much. So I'm signing artists, I'm giving them single deals and the option of an album and all that. But at the time when I was doing that, the artists that I would want to give these single deals to, the label Sony used to be like, Success, why you want to give them a deal? They don't even have that many followers.
That's the new thing.
So I'm confused. I'm like
the music.
I'm like, dope. What about talent? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, what about the talent? Like, okay, y'all done moved the developing the artists' budgets and all this kind of stuff. Again, I know things change, but I'm like, what about this? And if it don't pop, y'all can write them off anyway because that's all it's going to be. It's a single with an option. So when that was happening with a couple of people that I signed, I asked them every time. I'll be like, yo, do I have the power to still sign them without y'all? They was like, yeah, we was I want to sign them.
Right.
So when that started to happen, it was kind of a little disheartening, you know what I'm saying? A little discouraging because, you know, if I was an artist and I was, you know, using my talents, I would want somebody to bet on me, and if they bet on me, and I am successful, I'm gonna want to be paid handsomely for my work too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm willing to share, but don't make me like chase you or you just rob me. So when I got into that part of the business, I really didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was learning at the same time. So while we was at Sony, you know, I developed good relationships with people over there. But when the deal was over, a lot of people used to ask me like, yo, why you don't go and get a executive deal at a label? You're qualified, you've A&R songs, you put deals together, you know what I'm saying? You know, you did a deal, you got main deal before, an executive producer's album, and, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a part of me used to want to do it for the salary, to be honest, for the check, and it utilize their budgets and all that kind of stuff. But I just never came to do that, right? So I said all that to say, with that being said, I think a lot of things these days, just the way I look at the climate of business and the climate of currency, a lot of things are just becoming DTC, direct to consumer. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, correct.
So, and then again, I just mentioned evolution. So I believe in the blockchain. You know what I'm saying? I believe in Web3, which you own your content. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, YouTube, you don't even own your content. Right. You know what I'm saying? Once it goes on there. So I was going to like a lot of, you know, conferences, you know, becoming a student again. You know what I'm saying? Just the way when I came home, I looked at the industry when I got into the industry is like the streets. I got to pay my dues to become a general. So with the Web3 and the blockchain now, I'm in the process of, you know, getting some investors and raising money to launch my record label on the blockchain. You know, and the reason why I want to do that is because it don't have to be no trust. Right. Because you put together a smart contract. So whether you're a producer or artist or investor or whatever, when we put together the smart contract, when the money is being made, you don't have to call Success and say, yo, I didn't get paid. I don't have to call you. None of us have to call each other because our wallets are connected to the smart contract. So when any money is made, it's going directly to you.
Your percentage.
It's going directly to you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that is something that's more fair for artists and you know, things of that nature, you know, to want to do stuff like that. And I think it's inevitable. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like people, you know, and I suggest people really start looking into, you know, the blockchain, Web3, you know, stuff like that. You know, just like in 1997, you know, when everybody was like, oh, .com. You're like, oh, website. I don't need no website. What the hell is that?
100%. If things change,
So that's where I think we at with it. So I want to just be one of the pioneers versus one of the people that when it becomes saturated like anything,
Exactly.
then you feel like you're back in the rat race.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna do, you know, that's one of the things that I'm working on for the music side. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, because guess what? I already have the know-how. I already have producers that I could go to. Everything.
Relationships is good.
Relationships is good. You know what I mean? So now let's try this new formula. You know, and I think that's why some of the labels, as we see, they dropping a lot of artists. A lot of executives are being released, you know, let go, and because it's a big transition that's happening right now.
So before you go, what type of money? Because you said you look for investors. Around about what type of money it takes to do something like that?
Well, it could be stages. You know what I'm saying? Like it could be stages. Like you do seed rounds. Like any business. Sometimes you could raise money and then you raise this money and you take that money and you allocate it. You know, you allocate it to some things, and then you know if things start working and you know you start making money, then you might put more money back into it, or you get some more investors. So it's nothing like where it's a set number, but me personally, comfortably, if I wanted to do what I did and start out with a few artists, I know with a budget of $3 million what I'll be able to do. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to marketing, when it comes to producing music, when it comes to, because I feel like anything right now is really based on marketing.
Yeah.
I mean, like we could have the same phone, but if I make my phone the flyest shit than yours, everybody gonna buy mine.
Yeah.
But it's the same phone.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I feel like it's not about the product or the service. It's about how you market it.
Presentation.
How you market it, how you make it dope. Utilizing these influencers, utilizing, the ad space and TikTok. And I just feel like that's one of the reasons
that TikTok is big.
And you see how you said TikTok is big? And that's why I feel like, again, this is just my opinion, that America is trying to shut TikTok down. They're telling TikTok, like, listen,
from China.
You got to sell to America because TikTok they're creating so many multimillionaires with these young kids. And a lot of people are starting to get the truth from TikTok because they don't do like shadow ban you sometime or you know what I mean? It's a little more where you can kind of express yourself.
They do give more freedom.
You get what I'm saying? Because they're not American.
They're not American,
Exactly. So even with crypto, you see a lot of people be like, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in crypto. But I'm like, but if you look at what's going on, just like with the campaign right now, right? With Trump and Camilla, they spend millions of dollars to run smear campaigns on each other.
Crazy.
Think about that.
Crazy.
But if you think about that, if they doing that during voting time, then what make you believe they won't do that with a company or do that with a puff or do that with a business or do that with crypto? So a lot of times, me personally, when people are going, nah, I ain't doing that because of the smear campaigns that's being ran, I'm the guy that's going to be like, nah, let me look into that a little more. You feel me? I'm not going to take that on face value.
Yeah, just because you went and saw the movie and you ain't like it, don't mean I ain't gonna like it.
Exactly.
Let me go see it for myself.
And on top of that, right? All the JP Morgans and you just see Warren Buffett just sold another 900 and something million of his shares that he owned in Bank of America. So you ask yourself, why is he doing that? He knows something. You get what I'm saying? So people will sit back and I'm like, yeah, you gotta, with me personally, you follow the money. Follow the people that's monopolizing. See what they doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. Because they'll tell you, yo, Bitcoin ain't gonna work, crypto ain't gonna work, but then they gonna buy a billion.
Because they want everybody to be on to it.
Yeah, exactly. Or not even just be on to it. If you can secure the majority of anything, then you're monopolizing, correct?
Correct.
So now, if I want to go like this into you, I could do that. Like, get out of here. You get what I'm saying? So I believe in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason why that I'm gonna be moving to Dubai, because I feel like, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, even Riyadh, some of these places, Thailand, Africa, a lot of these countries, they already living in 2050. You know what I'm saying? I feel like America is like a rich third world country. You know what I'm saying? They already advanced, bro. You know what I'm saying? You go over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
China,
they advanced already, bro. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, right. So I feel like for me, you know what I'm saying? As a businessman, as a music executive, I feel like, there's way, way, way more ideas than money here in America. There's way more ideas than money, but abroad, there's way more money than ideas. That's just how I look at it. Again, I like to think outside the box. So for me, I'm like, I'm going to take my chances, right?
Yeah.
If they say, yo, bro, if you go to Scratch My Back Arkansas, there's money out there. You can flip. You'll be like, Scratch My Back Arkansas, where that's at? But I'm out there, right? So that's how I'm looking at internationally now. You know what I'm saying? When you see guys like Ray J and all these guys that's going over to these countries and they coming back with 30 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's just how I think. So I wanted to share that because, it ain't gonna stop what I'm going to do. Sometimes people don't like to share information. They think it's gonna stop what they.
But a lot of people, most people, just because you share it, they don't have your vision, so it ain't gonna
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
brother, we want to thank you for coming, man.
My
You know,
pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you for coming up here.
My pleasure.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen my brother a long time. Very powerful interview.
I gotta give y'all my Instagram.
Get
know
your
what I mean?
shout out. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
y'all-
do all that.
Y'all could go find me on Instagram. I am Success 88. I don't really have other social medias or nothing like that. But you know, I will be launching my record label soon, and also I'm getting into the film industry as well. You know what I mean? And so it's gonna be a couple of things. Just go follow me. I am Success 88, and just stay tuned for what I got going.
Y'all follow my brother. Very official. Before you go, can you tell him what's the #1 Harlem podcast show out here, my brother?
The #1 Harlem podcast is Beat 13, the Beat 139.
100%.
The Beat 139.